What I'd like to ask you is, what advice would you give to a college student who's really passionate about politics and journalism?
Mark Twain was once asked what advice he'd give for aspiring writers, and he said, I have 3 pieces of advice: read, read, and read. That's the beginning. That's the same advice if you want to be involved in politics. Second, read history. When I'm dictator of America, the only permissible college major is going to be history, so we don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. And don't be afraid to be partisan. That is, partisanship is good. It means you're bringing the weight of passion and principles and convictions to public affairs, and that's healthy. Read good journalism. Read good writers. I mean, people with good prose style. Because the American people are so busy and bombarded with so many messages and claims on their attention, they're not going to read you if it isn't fun. And if it's not going to be fun if it isn't well written. And by that I mean witty and pretty, and these are not mere ornaments to writing. These are writing. So you ought to find people with good prose styles. P.G. Wodehouse, the novelist. Murray Kempton, the journalist. People like that.
What is it like to go in front of a camera or to publish a column that goes under such scrutiny?
It's like being a surgeon. If you don't like it, you can't do it. After a while, the camera loses its terror, and you just have to understand that on television, what you're doing in strangers' living rooms, and they don't want a scene in their living room. They really do want civility. So if you bear that in mind, that people are inviting you into their homes, behave accordingly.
What would you say was maybe the most transformative experience you've had? Like, what was the point at which you said, like, this is what I want to do? Like, this is how I want to spend it?
That's a good question. I'll give you a funny answer. I grew up in central Illinois, went to Trinity College in Hartford, arrived there in the fall of 1958. Got on a train to go down to New York early on, plunked down a nickel, and bought a copy of the New York Post. And they had a wonderful columnist named Murray Kempton. And I read him and I said, what fun. And I sort of traced my interest in being a columnist back to Kempton.
What do you enjoy discussing the most?
Baseball. But aside from baseball, politics and governance, they're not separable. 2 parts of the same civic enterprise. And I'm just wild about American politics and history. It seems to me being born in America is one of the greatest. All of us are born here or immigrate here, have won life's lottery because it's just so much fun.
How has perhaps your background with political philosophy informed the kind of journalism that you do?
Well, it's interesting. I did indeed go to graduate school and got a PhD, intending to teach, and did briefly, at Michigan State and the University of Toronto. And some people might say, well, gosh, you went and got a PhD and now you're not teaching, so you wasted your time. Not at all. What I learned in studying political philosophy is applicable every day to what I do, every day. There isn't an issue that comes up in America that can't be traced back to the worries the founders had and the debates we've had since the founding, and to the long Western tradition of political philosophy that preceded the founders. So I have a feeling that I'm doing exactly what I set out to do.